Welcome to the Member xCite presentation. This is a chance for members to increase their profile amongst the businesses here and online. It's not a sales pitch, but a 10-minute insight into your field, a business innovation, or interesting area of your life. The concept is to provide great content that's helpful or interesting to the audience, and members are welcome to apply to present an xCite across any of our events, as well as our Facebook Lives, reaching audiences of over 10,000, building your brand credibility, and exponentially growing your business. Ladies and gentlemen, your xCite presenter today is Nick Cree from Positive Business Online. Nick is going to be taking us through the 5 mission-critical tools every business needs to be successful online today. To be successful online, aka getting customers and making money, involves more than just having a website. The website is just a cog in your online marketing that plays one part. There are many tools that work together to really get your digital presence pumping out new leads, inquiries, and making sales regardless of the economy. You can scale it up and down, but you need to do all of these. You will learn what they are and how to implement them effectively. Nick Cree is a digital marketer, WordPress web developer, and runs the Business Owners Smashing It Online Meetup, now streaming live weekly across Australia and New Zealand. He got into the digital world with a startup mortgage and finance business in the late 90s and grew it to a national business, winning awards in the mortgage industry prior to selling it at the start of the GFC. The skills and experience Nick brings are real-world street-smart marketing nous. Having run businesses prior to this current business, Positive Business Online, which started 11 years ago to help other small businesses implement tried and battle-tested digital marketing strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nick Cree.
So my role is probably the thing that people recognise about me is that I'm a web developer. But being a web developer is really only a title, and it encapsulates a whole lot of things, except if all you do is web development. So I've come to the industry as a business owner and a marketer first, having run a finance and mortgage business on the back of digital and online strategies. So that's where I learned all the stuff, and I'm self-taught. And it really is just in the business field there, getting experience about how this digital marketing actually works. So generally when people come to my business, which is Positive Business Online, generally when they come to us, they're asking. They say we need a website or we need to improve our website. And 80% of the time, people are looking at, the reason why they come is because that they want something that's visually appealing, is modern, and is displayed across a number of devices. So while that's all important, that's actually not the purpose of the website. So before we even start anything, the very first thing that is the mission critical thing is to understand what is the primary objective or primary goal of having a website? What's its job? What's it supposed to do? And anyone that answers that it needs to make a sale or needs to get customers is 100% wrong. That's not the job of the website. The job of the website is only one thing, and that's to get an email address. That's it. Once it's got an email address, the job of the website is pretty much done. So this is for small businesses that are looking for lead generation. So in all that there, the process of getting from say Facebook or Google or LinkedIn or wherever it is to the website to get that email address is a process of small steps and small yeses all the way through to get the sale. So you're not getting the sale on the website. You're not getting a sale on social media. All you're doing is you're gaining a small commitment and a small yes. So a website should be set up, every element on the website should be set up and geared towards getting an email address. And I'll talk about why that's important. And so to gear it up, the simplest way is just a contact form, so like a contact us form. So generally they're not high converting things. So your content, which is your second thing, your content on the website is absolutely vital in terms of it must be able to express people's problems, desires, wishes, things they want to solve. It must be able to articulate it better than they can articulate it themselves. So the funny thing about the human mind is that if you can explain people's problem they're looking to solve better than they can express it themselves, they automatically think you have the solution. So whether you have it or not, doesn't matter. They automatically think you have the solution. So spend all of your time thinking about your copy on the website in terms of not creating a solution, but being able to explain, how they're feeling, what the problem is, what they've tried, how they've tried to solve it, how they've failed with it, how your competitors have tried to offer solutions that don't actually fit it. Just describe that in terms that that they can say, yes, that's me. So when people get to your website, they should be able to say, yes, that's me. And so to get their email address, your content is compelling enough to arouse their curiosity, then you should be able to give them something that that they can download or take away. Now, what they can my favorite thing is a checklist of things that they should consider in order to solve that problem that they've got. That checklist you make up. So if they download this checklist in exchange for their email address, that's how you get it. If they come to you with this checklist, and ask you, can you fulfill all these criteria, you should be able to check off 100% of everything on that checklist. They take that same checklist to a competitor, the best that they should be able to complete it is about 60 or 70%. So what you want is that you want them to encourage them to go and take it out to competitors. So they ask the questions and get the ticks in it, but you want to make sure everybody else can only complete it 60 to 70%. For you, it's 100%. So it becomes a no-brainer to continue the relationship with you. Now, the email address. So you need a good website, which is all about explaining their problem better than they can explain it themselves, which is all about your content, which is the second thing. The third thing is to get that email address, which should go into the fourth thing, which is a CRM. Everybody should have a CRM, customer relationship management tool. If you don't know what it is, talk to Tim Hyde. He is the expert of that here. But your CRM is where you start your marketing conversation and continue that marketing conversation with people. It's not to sell your stuff, but it is to really position yourself as the expert and the go-to person to be able to help them with whatever it is they're looking to help with. So it's not pitching, it's not selling initially. It's really providing more valuable information, helping them to understand the problem that they've got even better than they can understand it themselves. The other thing about that is that you can use that email address to actually obviously send emails. But the other really cool thing about it is that you can do things like upload that whole list of email addresses you've collected to Facebook, and you can find all those people on Facebook. So rather than sending people messages, into their email box, which generally have not got a high open rate, you can actually send those same messages to them in their Facebook feed targeted to them. So that email address uploaded to Facebook will create a custom audience of those people that have been there, and you can message them there. They don't know that you are deliberately messaging them, and it's different to email, and they feel like they're in control of the journey because they've seen it and they're scrolling. Whereas if you send them an email, then they feel like you're in control because you've pushed this onto them. The other thing you can do with this email as well is that you can create what's called a lookalike audience in Facebook. So all of those email addresses you've collected through your website, you can then go, you found that audience of people that have already got that email address in Facebook, but you can ask Facebook to go and look for people that are just like those people that have subscribed. So, so same sort of demographic, same income, sort of same age, same area they're living in, same sort of, employment status or whatever, because the fact of it is if the people that have already given you their email address, are interested, then it is highly likely that other people with the same characteristics are also going to be interested as well too. So it gives you a lot of valuable intel and research to be able to target people that you don't know yet, and to bring them to your website. Now, your objective to get them to the website is with that lookalike audience is to make sure you get them off Facebook, get their email address. Your email address is the most valuable thing, so that you can, one, communicate with them, and two, continue that process of looking for them on social media platforms and creating lookalike audiences as well too. The last thing is being visible. So, which is more important now than ever before. And we've got so much distraction with Zooms now. So many Zooms have popped up. But you need to be able to position yourself in the marketplace as the expert. And to be the expert, it's not about actually being the expert, but it's about being visible. It's about attending functions like this on a regular basis. It's about being on social media with video, not just posting, but with video, and answering sort of people's questions, putting your opinions out there. And the best thing about being visible as well too is that you want to be polarizing. So don't take the middle line. Sort of take a position which is either left or right, and stick to it. And really what you want is you want people to say, look, no, I don't agree with that. That's, that position is not me at all. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get people that disagree, but on the other side of it, you're going to get some people that really do agree with you, and they're the ones that your ideal clients are. The thing about people sort of agreeing and disagreeing as well is it starts a discussion, conversation in a public platform, which they'll start discussing, amongst themselves. And then when you chime in, then you're chiming in on the side of people that are your sort of ideal clients. And so you start to develop a tribe of people there that like you, they know you, they develop an affinity with you, and then they're more likely to say yes to you in the future. So really the things is that you need to have a website that is conversion focused. You need to have compelling content which is able to explain people's issues better than they can themselves. You need to collect the email address. It needs to go into a CRM, and you need to be 100% visible all the time in social media. So that's my xCite presentation today. And my name is Nick Cree, and I'm from Positive Business Online and business owners smashing it online. Thanks,
Fantastic. Matt. Well done. Thanks, Nick. Put your hands together for Nick Cree, everybody. Well done. And we've got time for a couple of quick questions as well. So if you'd like to ask Nick a question, now's the perfect time. Use the participant bar to use the raise hand feature. Excellent. We've got some questions. I knew Tim would have some questions in this space. Absolutely. But Denise, you're up.
Nick, I just have a question. Where you were talking about Facebook with email addresses, can you do the same with phone numbers? Because phone numbers are connected to Facebook accounts.
Ooh,
and the same thing happen?
That is a really good question. I haven't thought about that, and I haven't done it. So the answer to that is I'm not sure. If you go and find out, let me know.
I can answer that because we're about to do a campaign using phone numbers. So you absolutely can. Yes.
Perfect.
However,
Yes.
only about 40% of people have their phone number attached to their Facebook account. So you'll get less of a result, whereas most people have their email. But then the other flip side is most people have their personal email as opposed to their business email attached to their Facebook account. So it does have some limitations. But when you are loading those audiences up, you can put in multiple email addresses and multiple phone numbers as well, which will bring it for each person, which will bring it closer to building out that audience as much as you like.
And the other thing too is that on the website, people are more likely to give you their email address than their phone number. So in terms of volume, you want to get the email address. In terms of quality, if anyone gives you a phone number, you've probably got a more highly qualified prospect.
That's true.
True.
Awesome. And Tim Hyde got a question there as well.
Yeah, hang on. Just a million things going on at once.
He's getting old.
People calling me for my birthday. It's like, what are you doing? Well, don't you just go happy birthday on Facebook these days? Nick, I think a lot of people will have a website in place right now, whether it's built by your neighbours, university student, nephew kind of thing. When should people kind of look at their website and decide whether that's a thing that's working for them or not? And let's assume they've got all the other pieces in place. We've got social, we've got CRM, but when should people look at their website and go, yep, it needs some work?
Now. Look, it's an interesting question, because one of the things that I've discovered over all the years that I've been working in web development is that the common pattern with people is that they get a website built, they launch it, and then never look at it again. And then they can't, and then they say, well, look, my website's not working. Yeah, it's like it's up there. I'm paying all these fees, but it's just not working. The thing with a website is it's not a static thing that just sits up there on the web. It's something that needs constant attention and constant work. So it's a bit like a marriage. If you ignore your wife or ignore your husband, at some point they're going to get annoyed and take off. Your website is exactly the same. If you put no attention into it, it's going to give you no love back again. So you need to be sort of constantly measuring, looking at what's working, and that's where your CRM and your website work together. Because if you find that people are getting to your website and you're getting nothing into your CRM, there's something wrong with your messaging on your website there. You need to have your website hooked up to Google Analytics and Google Search Console. Not only hooked up to it, but you need to be looking at it weekly to see, what pages are people looking. And there's a really cool little graph in there too, which is shows where people enter your website, what pages they go to. So you can follow their path through and where they exit. And where they exit, you want to look at why have they exited and how can we get them to go to the next page, or how can we get them to take that call to action. So you really do need to pay as much attention to it, probably more attention to it than your marriage.
So Nick, what about and we probably fall into this example as well, and we're in the process of completely redoing our website, like a brand new website. So at what point does your website become this, if you use like a house analogy, you add on a bedroom, you put an upstairs on, you keep adding on to this eclectic style to your website, that it actually becomes, unfunctional. Yeah. Unfunctional, dysfunctional, kind of, you know what I'm saying? At what point should you decide, actually, we've outgrown our website, we actually need a total new house now, instead of just putting add-ons onto the current one?
Yeah. So you just need to step back sort of a step further, and that when you start in business, you've generally got a set of goals and objectives in the business that you want to achieve. So that goal and objective might be, you might want to get to a six-figure business to start with. So and what gets you to a six-figure business is quite different to what gets you to a seven-figure business. So and so you need to think about, what's my primary objective? What do I want to get this website to do? So I would say anyone's wanting to get to a six-figure business, they've only got one objective, and that's to collect email addresses. So that's really where we start, because that's the start of people's customer journey with you. But then once you want to start sort of scaling again, and you've added some things on, because it's about how can we do more of this? At some point, the business is not just about collecting an email address. The business is about sort of doing some additional things. So the business might be like, let's say for BX, for instance. It's actually about getting people to come along to one of these presentations as a guest. So, you may not be looking for an email address, but you may be looking for, what else is it that people are looking for? So what's the goal of the website? So the goal of the website then actually changes. So once the goal of your business changes, the major goal of your business changes, you're looking at where's people's entry point, and often the entry point is through the website. So what is that first step that we need them to take in order to do it? So at that point there, you're redefining your goals as a business. That's when you relook at your website, because you're redefining what is it we need this website to do.
And I guess like the thing that I've found as well is that the platforms, like sure you're hosting WordPress, but the templates and themes and that you can get improve, almost every day. So if you've had a website for a couple of years, that even just the layout, the trend of layouts and stuff like that changes from year to year as well. So
I would also say too that the worst place to start is to choose a theme. Like what a lot of people do with their websites is they go to some place like Theme Forest or Envato or whatever, and they look for, let's say if their business is business coaching, so they're looking for a coaching theme. wrong place to start, because all that's happened there is that someone's put together a template which is visually appealing. The imagery is for coaching, but the functionality underneath it, which you can't see, may not be sort of that good for coaching, or may not be good for conversions anyway. So really your starting point is not what you look at, which is what these theme places sell. It's what does this thing do? What are the functions that it needs to do? Because the visual look of it, a designer can give you, can really design anything you like. But you really have to start thinking about, you know, what's the output, what's the outcome, what does this thing need to do, and that's where you start from. So I think, you know, if you're short of cash, sure, go to a theme shop and get something to get you going. But as you get that cash flow coming through, you need to sort of and that's a lot of what I do with clients, is thinking about, you know, what's this thing got to do. So our first conversations are about functionality, not about looks. And about their business and objectives. So that's the conversation you need to be having. And you know, if you were asking me about my checklist would be including things like, you know, what's your major objective of your business? What are the things that it needs to do? You know, what's critical and what's not critical. If you take that to a lot of web designers, their questions are all about, what look do you want? What other websites, sort of like what you want? Who in the industry is the leader in your industry? And so it's all about sort of visual sort of stuff. I think you need to look at the invisibles, not the visibles.